Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're decoding the biological path to rapid skill acquisition, and I'm going to show you how to truly master literally any topic. We're looking at the foundational architecture of cognitive growth, basically how you can take chaotic reality and turn it into effortless, intuitive performance. By the end of our time together, we are going to completely rewire how you learn and retain information. But first, you know that feeling when you watch a brilliant tutorial or read this deeply insightful book and you feel like you totally get every single word, but then a week later, you completely fail to apply any of it in the real world? It's incredibly frustrating, right? You put in the time, but the knowledge just vanished? Well, this happens because reading is an active construction process for the author, but for you, passive reading just creates what cognitive scientists call the illusion of competence. Fluent word recognition feels like true understanding in the moment, but honestly, it's a trap. To entirely bypass that illusion, here is our masterclass roadmap for today. First, the illusion of understanding. Then Phase 1, structural encoding. Phase 2, applied testing. Phase 3, automated form. Phase 4, intuitive fluency. And finally, we'll wrap up with number 6, mistake-proofing your life. So let's jump straight into Section 1, the illusion of understanding. Theory versus practice. We need to bust the absolute biggest myth in the learning world right now, the idea that understanding equals mastery. They aren't the same thing, not even close. Think of it like this. Understanding is highly theoretical. It lives purely in your explicit memory. It's like sitting on your couch, reading a driving manual cover to cover. You intellectually grasp that pressing the brake stops the car. But mastery? Mastery is procedural. It's effortlessly navigating a rain-slicked highway, changing lanes, checking blind spots, and jamming to a podcast without even consciously thinking about your feet on the pedals. Understanding is slow and conscious. Mastery is automatic and lightning fast. And this brings us to a brand new golden rule for using AI in your learning journey. The value you derive equals the effort required from your brain divided by the effort required from the AI. If you ask an AI to summarize a complex topic just so you can passively read it, your actual learning speed is going to be incredibly low. To extract real value, you have to treat AI as an aggressive sparring partner. Have it quiz you, challenge your assumptions, and force your brain to execute. The less the AI works to hand you the answer, and the more your brain sweats to find it, the faster you achieve mastery. To get there, you've got to follow the 4-phase cognitive consolidation model. Think of it as an industrial processing pipeline. It's the exact unskippable sequence required to move information out of your heavily bottlenecked working memory and right down into deep, unshakable muscle memory. You literally cannot skip a step here without the whole system breaking down. Moving on to Section 2, Phase 1, structural encoding, building the mental map. The crucial thing to remember here is that human working memory is severely limited biologically. We can only handle about 4 to 7 novel elements at once. If you dive straight into the complex nuances of a new subject, your brain immediately overloads and just shuts down retention. Instead, you've got to establish mental anchors. Strip away the jargon, the clever analogies, all the fluff, and deconstruct the topic down to its absolute, undeniable first principles. This keeps you from drowning in details before you even grasp the big picture. To do this efficiently, use an AI prompt just like this one. You're basically forcing the AI to build a structural scaffold for you to climb. It's kind of like isolating the 3 core axioms of financial statements, balance sheet, income statement, and cash flow, before you ever attempt to read a dense 300-page corporate annual report. Once that core frame is securely built in your mind, every new detail you encounter finally has a specific, logical slot to fit into. It is a massive operational shortcut. Next up is Section 3, Phase 2, applied testing, forcing working memory to process. Having a beautiful mental map is great, but now you actually have to step out and navigate the terrain. You need to aggressively shift your brain from knowing that to knowing when. You do this by applying a strict need-to-know filter. Ignore 80% of the secondary material and focus entirely on the immediate bottlenecks right in front of you. Test your knowledge under friction, severe time limits, and real-world unpredictability. That pressure, that is exactly what forces the memory to stick. And this is exactly where your AI sparring partner comes into play. Don't ask it to kindly explain concepts. Instruct it to act as a ruthless coach giving you scenario-based problems. Have it present them one at a time, evaluate your reasoning, point out your logical gaps, and challenge your flawed assumptions. This active resistance forces your prefrontal cortex to rapidly convert boring, static facts into dynamic, active choices. Now we hit Section 4, Phase 3, automated form, building implicit muscle memory. So, in phase 3, our goal is to lower the cognitive load entirely by eliminating failure points. To do this, we borrow brilliant Japanese operational principles from manufacturing. First is Hanzei, which is structured, brutally honest self-reflection after making a mistake. But reflection alone won't change behavior, right? You have to pair it with Poka-yoke, mistake-proofing. This means building physical or procedural guardrails that prevent a specific error from happening again, so bad habits never get permanently wired into your brain. You actually interact with Poka-yoke mechanisms every single day. Think about the old USB-A cables. You always had a 50% chance of plugging it in wrong, right? Now we have USB-C. It's fully symmetrical, making incorrect insertion literally impossible. Or your car. It physically forces you to step on the brake before the engine will even start. Or modern ATMs, which procedurally force you to take your debit card back before they ever hand over your cash, so you never leave it behind. These systems don't rely on the user being smart or motivated. They rely entirely on physical limits. And that is the true secret to mistake-proofing. So, when you're learning a complex new skill, feed the AI your flawed attempts. It will methodically diagnose the exact breakdown point in your mental model, formulate a custom Poka-yoke rule just for you, and generate targeted microdrills to fix that specific vulnerability. It's essentially debugging your brain's code. Which brings us to Section 5, Phase 4, Intuitive Fluency, Achieving Automaticity. This is the final cognitive phase, where you achieve System 1 thinking, completely effortless subconscious pattern recognition, true mastery. But to prove you've mastered a topic, you have to leave the comfortable, controlled environment behind. You have to expose yourself to chaotic, unexpected edge cases. Interleave your practice, mix up problems unpredictably, and learn to intuitively adapt when standard textbook rules completely break down in the real world. Here is your final, most intense prompt. Tell the AI to act as an aggressive adversary. Have it throw atypical, chaotic scenarios at you where standard approaches just flat out fail, and demand that you adapt on the fly. This prompt guarantees your AI partner will pressure test your fluency to ensure you have reached true mastery that will not crack under real-world pressure. Finally, Section 6, Mistake-Proofing Your Life, Applying Poka-yoke to Daily Habits. Okay, let's break the fourth wall for a second. This entire framework isn't just for academic learning or professional skills. You can apply these exact Poka-yoke principles to your diet, your exercise, and your daily habits right now. Relying on willpower is a losing game because willpower depletes. Systems do not. Want to avoid junk food? Use a prevention mechanism. Just don't buy it at the store. If eating a cookie requires you to get up, put on shoes, and drive 15 minutes, the physical friction stops the impulse. Want to limit calories? Use a sequencing interlock. You physically cannot touch your main dish until you've drank half a liter of water and finished your veggies. Want to stop late-night snacking? Brush your teeth immediately after dinner. It mentally and physically locks the kitchen for the night. It all boils down to one undeniable truth. Environment beats willpower every single time. You overcome mental friction by making the wrong action incredibly hard or physically impossible to perform. Whether it's forcing yourself to physically touch your gym shoes before you can pick up your smartphone in the morning, or using smaller 9-inch plates to trick your brain into seeing abundance, you are purposefully designing a system where success is simply the path of least resistance. We've covered how to bypass the illusion of competence, deconstruct complex topics down to their core axioms, stress test your knowledge against a ruthless sparring partner, and build unshakable automaticity. But look, knowledge without execution is just more theoretical fluff. So I'll leave you with this question. Look at your own day. What is one single recurring point of failure in your life that you will permanently mistake-proofed today?